Hi, quick question. When you face a big decision, how many options do you actually consider? Most people say two, maybe three if they are being thorough. But here is what really happens. You find one option that seems good, and then your brain immediately starts validating it. You research why it's smart. You imagine yourself in that scenario. You talk to people who will confirm it's a good choice. And then, weeks later, you discover that there is a much better option you have never even considered. Why? Because you collapsed to the first answer too quickly. Today, I'm going to show you how to fix that with a thinking move called parallel tracks, the systematic way to hold multiple options open simultaneously without premature commitment. This is going to change how you make every major decision. Let's dive in. Here is a scenario. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah has been at her company for 3 years. She gets a job offer from a competitor, 20% raise, better title, exciting projects. She got 2 weeks to decide. She researches the new company, looks at Glassdoor reviews, talks to people who work there. She makes a pros and cons list, and after all that research, she accepts the offer. 6 months later, she is miserable. The culture is toxic, the exciting projects were oversold. Her old company would have matched the raise if she had asked. But here is the thing, Sarah did think carefully. She researched, she talked to people, and she made an informed choice. So, what went wrong? She asked the wrong question. She asked, should I take this offer? That's a yes or no question, binary, stay or go. But that question assumes there are only two valid options. What she should have asked, what are all the viable paths available to me right now? Because there may be track C, stay at current company and negotiate for a better role, or track D, take a different job at a third company with better culture fit, or perhaps track E, stay and pivot to a different team internally. But she never developed those tracks. She never saw them. She got an offer, felt the pressure to decide, and collapsed to a binary choice. This is called premature convergence, and it's costing you better outcomes every time you face a major decision. Before I show you the systematic way, let me show you three approaches that seem logical but don't work. Approach number one, the sequential approach. You think, I will explore my options one at a time. So you evaluate the job offer first. If it seems good, you accept it. If not, you look for other options. So, what's the problem? By the time you evaluate the first option, you have already invested your mental energy in it. You have imagined yourself in that role. You have told people about it. Now, every other option gets compared to that first one, which has an unfair head start. You're not choosing the best option anymore. You are choosing based on what you thought of first. Approach number two, the research trap. You think if I gather enough information about this offer, the right answer will become obvious. So you research the company culture, talk to employees, analyze the benefits package, project your career growth. But here is what happens. More information about one option doesn't tell you if it's the best option. You can have perfect information about track A and still miss that track C was 10x better. Research is valuable, but only after you have identified all the tracks worth researching. Approach number three, gut feeling. You think, I'll trust my intuition. My gut will tell me if it's the right one. And sometimes that works, but other times your gut is just responding to timing. You got the offer today, it feels exciting, your gut says yes. But your gut didn't evaluate the option you haven't discovered yet. All three approaches share the same flaw. They collapse to an answer before fully exploring the possibility space. So, what's the alternative? Parallel tracks is simple in concept and very powerful in practice. Instead of evaluating options one at a time, you hold multiple options open simultaneously. You develop each track independently, giving them equal time, equal attention, and equal exploration. And you don't compare them until you have developed all of them fairly. Let me show you how this works with Sarah's situation. Step 1, generate the tracks. Sarah's binary was accept offer or stay. Instead, she generates four tracks. Track A, accept the competitor's offer as proposed. Track B, stay at the current company, negotiate for better role or raise. Track C, counter the offer, ask for better terms or remote flexibility. Track D, explore third option, different company with a better culture fit. Four distinct options, not two. Step 2, develop each track independently. Here is the key. She gives each track 1 week of focused exploration. Week 1, develop track A. Deep research on the new company culture. Talk to three current employees, not just recruiters. Map out realistic first year experience. Project how this affects life outside work. Here is the insight. The role is exciting, but the 60-hour weeks are not sustainable with her family situation. Week 2, develop track B. Talk to her manager about growth path. Research internal promotions. Identify what she would need to make staying compelling. Here is the insight. Her manager is actually open to creating a new senior role for her. She never asked because she assumed the answer was no. Week 3. Develop track C. Research industry norms for remote work. Draft counter proposal. Same role, hybrid schedule. Talk to companies known for flexibility. Here is the insight. The new company has approved remote for other roles, so it's negotiable. Week 4. Develop track D. Identify 3 other companies with better culture reputation. Reach out to network connections. Explore if there are better opportunities. Here is the insight. A company she respected is actually hiring. Better fit, similar compensation, but she didn't know about it. Notice what happened. By forcing herself to develop all 4 tracks, she discovered the information she would have never found if she had just said yes or no to the original offer. She discovered track B, her current company would negotiate. She discovered track C, the offer is negotiable. She discovered track D, a better fit exists. Step 3. Compare after development. Now, after exploring all 4, she compares based on merit, not timing. The right answer emerges from exploration, not from analysis. In Sarah's case, the track D, third company, ended up being the best fit, but she would have never discovered it without parallel tracks. So, what's the result? Instead of a binary choice between 2 mediocre options, she chose from 4 well understood paths and picked the best one. That's the power of parallel tracks. Here is the big insight. Most bad decisions are not because you chose the wrong option. They are because you never saw the better option in the first place. You collapsed to your first answer or your second answer, but the best answer was track C or track D and you never developed it. Parallel tracks fixes this. It forces you to see the full landscape before committing. And here is what's interesting. Even if you end up choosing track A, the first option you considered, you will choose it with confidence because you know you explored the alternatives. You are not wondering what if. You chose track A not because it came first, but because it was genuinely the best option after fair comparison. That's informed decision making and that's systematic thinking. So, here is how you would apply this to your next big decision. Step 1. When you have a big decision to make, resist the urge to say yes or no immediately. Step 2. Ask instead, what are the 3 or 4 viable paths I could take? Step 3. Give each track equal time. 1 week each if it's a major decision, 1 day each if it's a smaller decision. Step 4. Develop each track independently. Don't compare while you're exploring. Step 5. After developing all tracks, compare them and let the right answer emerge. As you go through these steps, you will feel discomfort. That's expected. That's your brain wanting closure. Recognize it, don't indulge it. The better decision is worth the temporary discomfort of not knowing yet. Now, parallel tracks is just one of the 4 systematic thinking moves. The others are pattern extraction, where you build reusable wisdom from experience, forward time travel, projecting decisions across time, backward time travel, finding root causes, not symptoms. And here is what's interesting. You probably already use some of these naturally. Maybe you are created pattern extraction, but you never use parallel tracks. Or maybe you do parallel tracks intuitively, but you have never heard it named. That's why I created the Systematic Thinking Scorecard. It's a free 5-minute diagnostic that shows you which moves you already use naturally, where your blind spots are, what your biggest growth opportunity is. Take it at your4moves.com/scorecard. Link is in the description. But if you want the complete methodology with detailed walkthroughs of all the 4 moves, plus dozens of real world applications, check out the book, Your 4 Moves. It's basically everything I wish someone had taught me about thinking systematically. But start with the scorecard. Find out how you think. Alright, that's parallel tracks. In the next video, I'm covering pattern extraction. How to extract reusable patterns from your successes so that you are not reinventing the wheel every time. It's a systematic thinking move that turns experience into transferable wisdom. If you found this useful, subscribe so you don't miss it. And again, take the systematic thinking scorecard at your4moves.com/scorecard. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.